Hey guys, Derek here with the Closet Doctor, and we're doing another project with the Richlieu, what I call the squishy lights. They're the 6mm square lights. We did these on a past project here that you can see in these pictures. And is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you a couple of things that we learned on that last one and some things that we changed. This will help you install squishy lights in your closets. So one of the things we learned on the last one is the groove needs to be 6mm. And is what I mean by that, 6mm is not a 1/4 inch bit. So a 1/4 inch bit is 6.35. And the way that these slide in, you want an interference fit. We knew that last time, but when we had an issue with our bit that we were gonna use, and so we had to use a 1/4 inch at the last minute. And is what we found is there's no interference fit, and it needed more than the two-sided tape that was on the bottom. We had to silicone it, so it created a whole bunch of work. So you want to order yourself, get yourself a 6mm bit for your router. We got ours from Vortex Tooling, and that's what we've got this time, and it works out really good. In this particular scenario, we're running the wires for the lighting out the bottom and hiding it underneath the toe kick. And last time when we put it in, and part of that was probably because we didn't have as good an interference fit, we started at the top and we pushed it in from the top down. Is what had happened, we found that the material, you know, it's a squishy silicone. We found that it got a little bit of flex and it was under tension. And when we got to the job that it had pulled down, we probably had about a 1/4 inch of pull down in it. And we didn't like that because it left a little gap at the top. So is what we've done this time, so with these, there's a little mark right here, and that's the only place that you can cut them. It's about every inch that there's that mark. And so we want to cut it there, but we also want to have a little bit of overage. So if I pull the whole thing out, is what happens is I'll cut it on an LED and it won't work. And so we need to cut it there, but I want to leave a little bit of extra in it. So is what we've done. You can see here, we've cut the silicone on an angle. So we put this in on the... Hey guys, if you like this content, please take a second and like this video and subscribe to my channel, and so you can get all the latest updates. Between now and when we install this next week, if we have any shrinkage on there, right before we put the top shelf on, we'll trim this flush with a razor blade, and so it'll stay full and we're able to cut it at the proper location. The other thing that we did before, and we think that contributed to that pulling down, is when we were putting it in, that we started at the top and we worked our way down and we were pushing it in this way. So what we found is, one, you need to go down and you need to put this in, and you need to push it straight down into the groove. So I'm gonna push it in, I'm gonna go about halfway with it, and then I go down, pulling that off, go down about halfway with it and get it started. So it's sticking out, you can kind of see it there, it's sticking out. And then now I'm gonna push it all the way into the groove. I'm gonna go back towards the end that I started with on it, like this. And is what that does is, instead of stretching the silicone, it's actually compressing a little bit into the groove. The last thing we did is at the end of the run where the wiring is at, so it's got a little cap on here that is wider than 6mm. And you need to, it's not exact, it needs to move up and down. So we just put a 15mm hole at the end of that. That gives us, 15, 20mm of movement where it can be, and then the wire runs out. And then at the bottom, so the wire is gonna run out of here. Our bottom shelf is gonna be on right here. And then we cut an access route in all of the verticals so we can run all the wires underneath it. So this is them on in the vertical. It's really, really nice. They're nice and bright, they're easy installation, and they're flush. We've got it to where we've got the light sticking up just a little bit so that it doesn't show the edge of the material right there, and it kind of squishes out of the way as we put a shelf in. But it's so much easier than doing the aluminum channel with the cover on it with the light inside of it. It's all just one piece. We ran this on the CNC, took an extra 30 seconds to cut this on the CNC, and then actual installation time for each one when you're not filming a video is just a couple of minutes to have it all ready to go. And we're gonna go out and we're gonna install this all on Tuesday, and I'll show you some finished pics of that when we're done.